It's easy to get stuck reaching for the same familiar fruits and vegetables, even when you know a colorful variety is key. Balance of Nature's fruits and veggie supplements don't replace fruits and vegetables, but it makes it easy to add more variety to what you already eat. With 31 ingredients that are whole fruits and vegetables, switching it up is easy because we've already taken care of the hard part. Go to balanceofnature.com and get a free fiber and spice supplement, plus 35% off your first set as a new preferred customer by using discount code POD.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
Good morning, and you haven't heard anything yet. If you thought I was tough on the race for New York City mayor, wait until you hear my colleague here in New York, Sid Rosenberg, who does the morning show. I want you to listen to how he brutally, and rightfully so, goes after Curtis Sliwa. And then a candid moment. Sid is my guy. Sid Rosenberg is my guy. But a candid moment about how two alpha males, Sid and myself, got into it live, big time, on the air during the campaign. I am going to finally share the backstory of what led to it between Sid and I. And it centers around Curtis Sliwa. Because Sid wanted me to say certain things to endorse Sliwa on the air, and I absolutely refused. And let me just say this while we're here. There are three people that can order me to say something publicly on these airwaves. Of course, the station owners, John Catsimatidis, Margot Catsimatidis. They could yank the mic right now if they decide to. They could do anything that they want to because they own the network. They have never said one word to me about coverage of any issue. All they ask me about is my family, how I'm doing, and that's it. And the third person that could order me to say something is the president of the company, Chad Lopez. He has never, ever ordered me to say one thing or another on any given issue. Outside of those three individuals, if you dare approach me to try and order me to say something, ooh, you're going to get it. And that's what happened between Sid and I. Two alpha males, but I'm going to tell you the backstory. First, I want you to listen to Sid, who is brutal on Curtis Sliwa and his run for New York City mayor.
0.5% is embarrassing. I wouldn't leave the house. One guy clearly lost his rocker, lost it, starting fights with everybody in the city, and specifically people that were very, very good to him. Specifically, John Catsimatidis and Sid Rosenberg. Very good to him. And for some reason, he thought a couple of wannabe tough guys in Middle Village and Howard Beach and Rockaway and Brooklyn. When I say a couple, look at that percentage. I mean a couple. For some reason, he thought those people were more important than the people that were behind him for years and years. He never had a chance. We all knew that. And Greg Kelly said we probably humored Curtis for too long. I mean, I knew he was going to finish at about 13 or 14%. Any moron would have known that. He knew that. He didn't even do that. He got half. I mean, 7.5% is embarrassing. I wouldn't leave the house, let alone yelling and screaming, I'm coming after you, Mom Donnie. I wouldn't even leave the house. If I would have run in this election, you bet your ass I would have done better than 7.5%.
And so before we even get into it, right? Before we even get into it, 7.5% of the vote, millions spent on that campaign of public taxpayer money to only receive 7.5% of the vote. Staten Island, supposed to be his stronghold, came in dead last. Staten Island voted for Andrew Cuomo overwhelmingly, doing the right thing. Mom Donnie beat Mr. Sliwa It was close, but in Staten Island. Dominic Carter here with you. The number to reach us, we see every line is lit up. We'll get to it in a second. 800-848-9222. So here's the truth. The backstory behind what really happened. Sid, in fact, all of us were trying our best to help Mr. Sliwa in any and every way that we could as his colleagues. And truth be told, I am greatly annoyed at Mr. Sliwa right now, but Mr. Sliwa is still my guy. I'm sure he's equally annoyed with me. It is what it is. I got a job to do. It's that simple. So the backstory is Sid let it be known that he wasn't happy that on air I wasn't supporting Curtis Sliwa. And Sid was trying to push me, in fact, force me to endorse Mr. Sliwa publicly. And he found out the hard way that's not exactly a good idea with me. And so I couldn't publicly endorse Mr. Sliwa because here's the truth. I knew his run for mayor was a publicity stunt. Nothing more, nothing less, period. An absolute publicity stunt. End of story. Part of me wanted him to be mayor as a friend, but I knew it was never, ever, 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 ever going to happen. And I felt bad for you that are listening right now that really believed that he had a shot at becoming mayor of New York City. That's why, like the Normans of Brooklyn, I give him credit because Norman woke up and said, listen, enough of this. I'm not going with Sliwa anymore. Even though I gave him money, I'm going with Cuomo. So Sid kept sending the message, and he was trying to push me on air to back Mr. Sliwa. And the more he pushed, the more I resented. And I was never going to do it. So in my own way, here's what I did to try and help Mr. Sliwa. And I'm very proud of this. I went on a campaign for about a month urging you folks to donate to him. And I said, listen, don't just talk. Don't be about it. If you're going to be about this, then do it. And I'm very proud of the fact that this time Sliwa raised more money than he did the first time he ran. He was able to run TV commercials this time. And that was all because of your kindness to donate money to him where he could buy TV ads. So I gave him as much airtime as I could. I urged the public to donate to him because the truth is, you know, Sliwa and I, we've been in some tough situations together over the years, and I wanted the best for him. I still want the best for him. I still do. Even though he was drinking his own Kool-Aid, because he started believing that he had a shot, and I kept telling him months in advance, Curtis, don't do this. Now, what was his motivation? He's got to answer that. He has to answer that. And to those of you that are delusional, even with Sliwa out, Cuomo would have. No, he wouldn't have. No, he wouldn't have. You don't know what you're talking about. He was down with Sliwa out 1.5% with momentum. I'd be talking about a flawed mayor-elect Andrew Cuomo right now. And I'd be hammering him probably on the sexual harassment stuff and the nursing homes as the mayor-elect. And I wouldn't let him get away with it. But before we go on, by the way, and there are a few of you that knew of the dilemma that I had and knew of the dilemma that I had with Sid. So he came into the studio one day. He had it. I had it. Harsh words were exchanged, but live on the air. But we're both bigger men. You know, we talked about it. We worked it out. Sid is my guy. You know, we're cool with each other. We really are. And so I think we have boundaries now of what lines not to cross. So there are some of you that are listeners that knew exactly of my dilemma. that I'm so confident in you that I turned to you for advice. And you knew exactly the dilemma I had. Liz in Florida. Sherry, the retired NYPD officer. Lisa in Nutley, New Jersey. And also Sandra in New Jersey is my people. Sandra didn't know all the details. But the three first names I gave you, all three of them gave me good advice of how to handle this situation. All three of these ladies. And so before we get on to anything else, one more time, I want you to hear Sid Rosenberg. Ooh, he's giving it to Curtis Sliwa.
0.5% is embarrassing. I wouldn't leave the house. One guy clearly lost his rocker. Lost it. Starting fights with everybody in the city, and specifically people that were very, very good to him. Specifically, John Catsimatidis and Sid Rosenberg. Very good to him. And for some reason, he thought a couple of wannabe tough guys in Middle Village and Howard Beach and Rockaway and Brooklyn. When I say a couple, look at that percentage. I mean a couple. For some reason, he thought those people were more important than the people that were behind him for years and years. He never had a chance. We all knew that. And Greg Kelly said we probably humored Curtis for too long. I mean, I knew he was going to finish at about 13 or 14%. Any moron would have known that. He knew that. He didn't even do that. He got half. I mean, 7.5% is embarrassing. I wouldn't leave the house, let alone yelling and screaming, I'm coming after you, Mom Donnie. I wouldn't even leave the house. If I would have run in this election, you bet your ass I would have done better than 7.5%.
All that money spent, taxpayer dollars, for 7.5%. Let's start with your telephone calls. We're going to get to President Trump and what the president has to say about Mom Donnie. Also, the president's son. We'll get to all of that. But let's begin with Norman in Brooklyn, line 4. Norman, good morning. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Dominic. Okay, so Sandra from New Jersey forwarded me a text. Apparently, there has been some chatter from Mr. Sliwa about running for governor in 2026. I think Mr. Sliwa has found his role in life, which is now he has decided to be a professional spoiler. I mean, he really did it actually against Adams, because Sliwa entering the race against Adams, he eclipsed Bill Pepitone, who was running under the conservative line, and that was there was a lot of chatter, a lot of bitterness. I sat on the on the committee of the Conservative Party of Kings County. And
Norman,
not anymore.
Norman, I'm about 45 seconds from my first break here. Let me be very clear. Curtis Sliwa can't run for dog catcher. Anything that he's trying to float this amongst people that he wants to be his puppets and draw public support. He can't run for dog catcher. His days of running for public office are over. The Republicans will never get behind him again. Quickly, please, your reaction.
Yeah, that might be, but maybe he thinks that he can just be a spoiler. And
wrap.
And because he was effective, Dominic. He was
not effective. He embarrassed himself this campaign. That's the truth. I told him up front he was never a good debater, and I told him he needed to work on his debating skills. And I got to toss to a break, but thank you for the call, Norman. Run for governor. Oh my God. And you know what? There's some of you that are crazy enough that'll start calling me up in the months ahead. Sliwa for governor. The man can't run for dog catcher. I am coming right back.
It's Dominic Carter.
This shrimp and coconut sauce is divine. What's your secret?
Goya coconut milk.
How does it taste so good?
It's all in that real coconut flavor and that rich, creamy texture.
What about thickeners and added sugars?
None. Just smooth, coconutty goodness.
What can I make with it?
From curries to sweet treats like coconut flan, the possibilities are endless.
Goya coconut milk. Take your cooking to the next level. No question about it. Find it in the Goya section of your local grocery store. If it's Goya, it has to be good.
Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And we are back, returning to your calls, but I do want to say this, and I'm not at liberty to go into any further details. You may recall I profiled one of our great listeners, Tammy Tucci. She went through a double mastectomy, breast cancer situation. Please pray for her. That's all I'm at liberty to say for right now until I talk to Tammy again. In the middle, when you're in the middle of covering a campaign, everything else falls to the wayside, personally or any other issue. And Tammy's important to me, and all I can say at this point is please, please, please pray for her. She could use all the help right now. And all the well wishes that we can send her way. I'll have more on this, but I can't go into any further detail until I talk to Tammy and she approves and says it's okay. Let's go to your telephone calls here. Let's go to Tom, Staten Island, line 5. Tom, what's on your mind?
How are you, Dominic? I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller. I was just going to say, I'm in Staten Island. Most people, I think Cuomo won by 52 to 22 or something, I think, in the Staten Island. And a lot of people are conservative Republican. We all voted for Cuomo because we didn't want Madami, Right. So, that's what, And Curtis, he's a terrific guy. I worked in the subway. I was a conductor in the 80s, and he came on my train. I know the Guardian Angels. He was terrific. But I feel bad for what's going on here, but they had to vote that way because of the election.
Well, frankly, anyway, Tom, I think you should feel more bad for yourself than Mr. Sliwa. Mr. Sliwa made his bed. He's got to lie in it now.
Right. Well, I like Curtis. The guy, I'm 75 years old. I've been listening to Bob Grant. Curtis is terrific. And I met him a couple of times. He's a very nice guy. And you're all good on station. But I think maybe they're going a little too over the top on Curtis. But I understand the situation. I don't know why he ran. They didn't help him, the Republicans. The whole election's all screwed up. And now we got, Madami. We'll see what happens. Cuomo was a flawed candidate. That's why there's no way nobody's going to vote for him because he was a flawed candidate. So was Adams.
I understand that, Tom. But if Mr. Sliwa had got out of the race, if he had did an Eric Adams, right now I'd be talking about flawed Mayor-elect Cuomo. But that's not what Mr. Sliwa did.
You don't know, but I agree.
I do know.
Yeah.
I do know. I bet my life on it. That if he got out the race, I'd be talking about right now. The same way I told you Trump would win is the same way I'm telling you I'd be talking about Mayor-elect Cuomo, who was far from perfect. And you had to hold your nose. But thank you for the call. You had to hold your nose on him. Let's go to Tony in Clifton, New Jersey, line 4. Tony, what's on your mind?
So, Dominic, this is what I'm thinking about tonight. The failed election in New York City has really brought to us the new mayor-elect of New York City, the Muslim mob mayor, Mondani. And what he's bringing to us is Dominic, he's going to the mattresses, as they say, on Trump, on ICE, on police, on any Republican, and everyone is going to have to fear him. Well, we don't fear him because FDR took out one of the mayors in New York, and President Trump has plans for Muslim mob mayor Mondani.
Well, I hear you, Tony. It's going to be very hard to remove this guy from office. But if ever there was a president to do it, it would be President Trump. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And we are back on this Friday a.m. Dominic Carter here with you live. Let's continue with your telephone calls. Let's see here. In a moment, we'll go to Meredith in Oregon. But right now, let's go to Angelina, line 3, Long Island. Angelina, good morning. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Dominic.
Hi.
Could you hear me okay?
I can.
Okay. Please, let me take a deep breath here. It's very important, and I want to talk to Lionel and his wife.
Whoa.
I know, it's a different show.
It's a different show. This has nothing to do with my man Lionel that in New York is coming on after me. We've got to deal with our issues. Whatever issues you may have with Lionel, you got to address that to him.
No. You'll understand what I'm going to say.
Yeah, but wait, Angelina, I need to explain this. Don't take this the wrong way. We don't sit around listening to each other's shows. We're hustling, trying to get our own shows on the air with our collective staffs. So something Lionel may have said, I have no idea, just like Lionel has no idea what I said, generally speaking, because because me and Greg, a lot of times I'm asked about something that Greg Kelly said, and I had no idea what he said. But go ahead, Angelina.
No, I hear you. I listen to you every day, all day long.
Thank you.
Okay,
we got to move this along, Angelina. We have a lot of callers.
I know. That's why I want to get to the point. I wanted to talk about Sharia law. Okay?
To what aspect?
And what is going to happen with women in New York and across this country.
That's kind of ridiculous. Do you really think, I mean, I get it that it's a great talking point for some hosts. Do you really think that this man has the power to come in and do something like that? Come on, the state would never go for that. What are we talking about here?
Do you know what they do to women?
I do. Angelina, I don't want to engage in this long conversation about nothing.
Why doesn't anybody want to talk about it?
Angelina, I got to move on. Thank you for the call. Mamdani's the mayor of New York City. He can't come in and break. Trump would shut him down immediately, and so would the federal courts. And so would Governor Hochul. It's ridiculous to even have a discussion like that. That might be his goal down the road, way. I don't even. Right now, Mamdani is saying to himself, if I could con the voters of New York, I can con America and I can become president. That's what Mamdani's thinking about right now. But Mamdani knows in order to become president, and I know that's far-fetched, and you're like, what? Is Dominic on drugs? I'm not on drugs. He's actually saying to himself right now, if I could keep my wife away the entire campaign and my parents, despite the baggage that they brought, I can become president of the United States of America. Remember, it was the exact same thing that Eric Adams thought. Remember, I'm the Biden of Brooklyn, right? Remember that, folks? Let's go to Meredith in line 1 in Oregon. What's on your mind, Meredith?
Well, I'm kind of nervous, but I think that, because I don't talk on the radio.
Oh, don't worry. You and I are just talking. Don't worry about it.
Well, I'm trying.
Okay.
I think that we should form We the People. And We the People, there are 50% of New Yorkers who do not want this guy. And
Meredith, wait, Meredith. So what are you proposing?
Well, I'm proposing that we ask President Trump to intervene, and our basis is that this guy is.
I think I know where you're going, Meredith, and you're doing wonderful.
He is a problem in...
The president cannot intervene. And if he did, the federal courts would overturn him in a New York minute. Mamdani will be sworn in on January 1.
No, that's not what I was asking for.
Meredith, we got to move this along. We have a lot of callers.
To say we the people want to have our voice. Not in.
And you did have your voice election day. I know you don't get the vote in New York City. The people did have their voice on election day.
Yes, they did. And I have very strong feelings about that. I feel that W77, WABC, which I listen to all night long.
You got to spit it out. What are you saying? Just say it. I think you're about to criticize us. Whatever you're about to say, just say it, please.
No, I'm not.
Because I have to move on.
I'm trying to tell everybody.
There's nothing. This is a waste of time. There's nothing anyone can do. He will be sworn in January 1. This is a conversation that perhaps you should. Thank you for the call, Meredith, in Oregon. A conversation that should have happened a week ago. There is no, President Trump can't intervene in this unless they find something terribly illegal. And even then, politically, it'll be almost impossible. He will be sworn in as the next mayor of New York City come January 1. It's as simple as that. Let's go to Carmine in Brooklyn, line 4. Carmine, what's on your mind?
Thank you. Thank you very much. I said a prayer for that woman who had a vasectomy. I'm going to be all over the place, and I'll be fast. First of all, Curtis, I met you. I shook your hand. I think you were great. You are great. Curtis, Zimmerman, there's no Brovio Fachin.
No. I don't do that. That's Curtis Stick with all of that stuff. I don't do that. That's not me. First of all, I don't know what you're saying, and it leads me to get very, very nervous. So please keep it in English. Whatever you used to do with Curtis Sliwa, that's the past, okay? This is the future. So can you please, Carmine, just tell me the point you're trying to make? I have a lot of calls, and then I need to move on.
All right. I was in the Army. Here's a point.
Okay, Carmine, I'm not feeling this. Carmine, please. I'm trying, but out of the respect that you're a veteran, please get to the point of what you're trying to say.
I'm trying to say that the mayor, the socialist bum, wants to defund the police. What happens if, God forbid, you or me or somebody should call the police and the policeman doesn't come on time?
Carmine, this is a conversation for a week ago. We're past that now. We're past that. That train has left the station. Thank you very much for the call. And, when you mention Mom Donnie, here's something I want you to think about, folks. This guy is so out there. He was asked about, and this fell through the cracks, his first announcement the day after the election, asked about ICE and ICE arrests, and whether or not he'll order arrests of ICE officers. Listen to what Mom Donnie had to say.
My message to ICE agents and to everyone across this city is that everyone will be held to the same standard of the law. If you violate the law, you must be held accountable. And there is sadly a sense that is growing across this country that certain people are allowed to violate that law, whether they be the president or whether they be the agents themselves. And what New Yorkers are looking for is an era of consistency, an era of clarity, an era of conviction. And that is what we will deliver to them. And I am looking forward to having conversations with Mayor Adams and his administration about the work of the transition to ensure that the handover is a seamless one and that it is one that benefits the shared work we all have to deliver for the people who call the city home.
So in other words, he's going to try and arrest ICE officers. That's what he just said. Let's go to Esther, line 4, Brooklyn. Esther, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, long time no speak. And 43 redials to get through to you. Let's get to the point. In Jewish and Hebrew, we have a great expression, which loses itself a little bit in English, but I'm going to do my best. It says, you know a person best. A person's personality is most well known through his pocket, through his alcohol, and through too much honor. And I think, I don't know about the alcohol part, but the money and the honor, the sort of honor and whatever, got to Curtis. I've been listening to this guy since the Curtis and Kubi days, since I'm old enough to turn on the radio on my own. And he has totally, thrown the whole WABC team under the bus. And I could just only imagine from listening to all of you and being an avid listener and hearing John Katzmatidis on his own shows, how he runs that station and all of you with your honesty and camaraderie for each other, and just throwing everyone under the bus. His wife is a real nut job, and I used to call Curtis's show very often, and once or twice I called when it was like the Animal Hour or whatever, and she was on. As soon as she picked up that I was an Orthodox Jewish woman, I did not feel comfortable calling anymore. So I don't think she either had the city and our community at her best interest at all. I think the honor got to them, the money got to them, and it's so disheartening. It's so disheartening because WABC is a family, and he put New York.
Thank you for the call, Esther. Let me respond to what you just said. One, I'm a little uncomfortable with you referring to Nancy Sliwa as a nut job. I'm not feeling her right now. I am terribly angry with Nancy Sliwa. I'm not going to lie to you. People in the world of pop, they're saying awful things these days privately about Nancy Sliwa. They are saying that she's the one that took Curtis Sliwa because what he did in this campaign is irrational. They are saying that she's the one that took him over the cliff that got him to do this. I don't know what the case is. I'm not in their marriage. I don't know. I don't want to know. I'm not feeling Nancy right now, but it's very inappropriate to describe her that way. But thank you for the call, Esther. I don't think we should describe anyone that way. But again, I'm not feeling her. And the reason why I'm not feeling her, I knew she wouldn't be happy with the things that I'm saying, but I'm not part of the Sliwa cult. Okay, I'm going to be straight with you folks right now. A moment of being candid, all right? You've listened to Mr. Sliwa for years. You've drank the Kool-Aid for years, and you're still drinking the Kool-Aid. How many times you got to get slapped in the face? And when you raise millions of dollars for a campaign, there's a lot of ways legally that you can spend the money. A lot of ways. That's questionable. So I don't know what happened with the money. Mr. Sliwa has to know that the investigators are going to be looking at him at every line for every dollar how he spent. So that's on him. And that's what's coming in the days ahead. So, but as far and being honest, because I'm not pulling my punches anymore, as the kids would say, he played himself. Curtis Sliwa couldn't run for dog catcher right now. That's how much he embarrassed himself. And maybe it's time to step down. I mean, maybe I should. That's not for me to say. Maybe it's time to call it quits on his public career. It's a wrap, to be honest with you. The way he embarrassed himself in this campaign, the way he went after people, just like Sid said, that have stood by him for years because you let your wife take you off the cliff. Come on, man. You're better than that, Curtis. And I know you're listening. You're better than that. And everything I'm saying publicly, Curtis, you know I'll say it to you privately. I have no problem saying it privately. Let's continue with your calls here. Let's go to Scott, Connecticut, line 1. Scott, what's on your mind?
Thank you so much for taking my call. Dominic, I absolutely respect your opinions, especially regarding politics. I just have two quick things to ask, okay? I'm not trying to stir trouble.
Scott, please, ask. I'm short on time. Get to the point.
I'll get right to the point. Number one, is it possible that Curtis and his wife, by running for office, like everyone else, felt that they were going to do the right thing and they felt like they were going to help and make change and so on and so forth, but like a lot of people got caught up and completely did a flip-flop as far as their egos and their attitudes go? That's the first question.
Well, to answer the first one, when you lose by 40% 4 years ago, there's no way in hell you can think you're going to be elected mayor. What's the second question?
Okay. Bill O'Reilly said tonight in his program that the statistics show that 40% of the vote for Mandani was a Jewish vote. Is that information accurate? And if so, what were these people thinking?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I don't like answering questions based on what another host says because that's open to interpretation that you heard the host correctly. And oftentimes, people do not, emphasis do not, hear the host correctly, and then you want me to jump out of a window when you're coming at me with false information. So I don't know what Bill reported. I got to look at the numbers myself, Scott. Right now, what I'm looking at is I am more than 30 seconds late for a national break, so I've got to do exactly that. We're coming right back with more of your telephone calls.
It's Dominic Carter. The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And we are back. Dominic Carter here with you folks on this Friday AM. I'm looking at my Twitter right now. And the title, Lake and Hope Riley, yes, what you just pointed out to, that Mamdani was born in Uganda, so he can't serve as president of the United States. But you better believe he just pulled the biggest con on the people of New York City. You don't think that he's trying to figure out a way that he could get himself into the White House or as close to the White House as possible? Look at what this guy just pulled off. He did the impossible. Let's see here. Let's go to Freddie, line 3, Manhattan. Freddie, what's on your mind?
Dominic, I'm worried. I mean, you guys are hammering Curtis so much. There's a lot of nuts out there. He's always in the streets, he's in the subways. You guys are going to get him killed. I mean, he lost. So what? I mean,
no, it's not a matter of he lost. He burned bridges with everybody that loves him. And nobody wants anything bad to happen to Mr. Sliwa. And his wife needs to work on her etiquette.
Well, here's the other point. You said you were going to hammer Cuomo with the guy. You should have hammered him before.
No. You folks shouldn't have been so delusional to buy the garbage that Sliwa was selling you. Don't get this twisted. Don't try and blame somebody else. You got to look in the mirror. You are I can tell you, Freddie, you're part of the 7.5 that voted for Mr. Sliwa. Stop trying to blame somebody else for the horrible decision that you made. You have the final word.
You endorsed a murderer and a sex offender. Look
okay, right.
2 elections you got wrong. You got it wrong. Cuomo lost twice.
I want to introduce you to somebody. Meet Mr. Click. Let's move on to Michael, line 2 in Manhattan. Michael, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, I don't know if you're aware of this person, John Batchelor.
I am, but Michael, I don't have time for long stories. I have a full thing of telephone calls. Go ahead. You got 15 more seconds. Go ahead.
Okay. CAIR, CAIR, was the force behind him. They are connected with terrorists. Okay,
Michael, I'm not feeling it. Thank you for the call. Let's go to Stephen in Westchester, line 1. Stephen, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I want to talk about the idea that Cuomo would have won if Sliwa would have dropped out. I don't understand one thing. Cuomo was against Mamdani in the Democratic race for the Democratic Party. He lost there. There was no Sliwa there. No. So I don't understand.
Okay, Stephen, it was a crowded field. How could you not see that part? There were numerous. What? Okay, Stephen. Why do you think politicians run on Republican lines in New York City? Why do you think they run on? Why do you think Bloomberg ran on the Republican line?
Because it's better for him to get more votes.
No, because it's not so crowded and it's easier to win. That's why. Yeah. But what's your broader point? Because the first one makes no sense.
Let me make a final point. Cuomo made a couple of bad moves that you can never forgive.
Who made a couple of bad moves? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Cuomo made a couple of bad moves.
Okay, why are you talking about Cuomo? Cuomo ain't cost us the election.
No, call me. It wasn't. Sliwa didn't cause it. I'm telling you, I know you want this to be true. I know.
No, it's not that I wanted to. First of all, Stephen. It's not that I want it to be true. I am very good at predictions. I'm considered one of the best alive. Okay? And the fact of the matter is, you can rationalize it all you want to. Sliwa burned the city of New York. It's that simple. He was never going to be mayor. This was nothing but a publicity stunt to please his huge ego. And he knew that people like you would buy into the nonsense. It's as simple as that. And so I wish him well. Hopefully, as Mr. Katzimatidis says, the owner, hopefully he'll be back. If he's not, we move on. It's as simple as that. Life goes on. Just like they'll say the same thing about Dominic Carter one day. Life goes on. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy.
Download and subscribe
at BeBullish.com.